We're talking about the complexity of Nigeria's healthcare system and the rising cost that continues to burden families. According to the World Health Organization 2024, Nigeria's healthcare expenditure has surged to 9.5 trillion naira, with 80% of medical expenses borne out of pocket. The National Bureau of Statistics reports that 50% of Nigerians struggle to access healthcare due to high costs, pushing 10 million into poverty annually. So today we want to hear from you. Share your experience, share your thoughts. How are you coping with the cost, of medicines and healthcare in Nigeria today? Do you have health insurance? Is it working for you? Do you believe in health insurance? Are hospitals, are they accepting it? How much did you buy your last antibiotics? How much do you spend on, cost of medications between now, from 2015 till date? I would say, what difference have you seen? Me, I would say you can't afford to fall sick at this point in time because it's going to cost you a lot. And I would say tilt to all, healthy, alternative healthy living or alternative healthy lifestyle that would benefit you and not make you experience or go into the hospital for treatment. I experienced firsthand, at some point, just a 2-month interval, sometime in 2022, when I gave birth to my child and when I went back, for a different healthcare issue. Getting a card went from 5,000 naira within 2 months to 7,000 naira. And then the next year, as early January, when I referred someone to the same hospital, services that were going, in fact, when I registered at 25,000 naira. Before I finished my 9 months in delivery day, it had increased to 27,000. And when I referred someone else there, they had increased their services at 15% higher. So people were paying, instead of 27, they're paying 37, 35, depending on who you are. Delivery kit that was going for 25,000 was going for 35,000, 37,000, 40,000. I don't even know how much it would be now. This is as 2022/2023.
And this is a private hospital.
This is it's a military hospital. So services are to an extent subsidized and completely free for military personnel, but for civilians you get to pay. But it was relatively cheap. When I was there, you could get a room for as low as 5,000, a room of 3 people for 5,000. Before I left, it had increased to 15,000. I was shocked. As in, when I gave birth, I paid 7,000. When I started, it was 5,000. Through the 9 months, it increased to 7,000. When I referred someone, they told me it was 15,000. And I was like, okay. So this is as of 2023. I don't even know how much it will be today. But would love to hear your thoughts, How has it been for you when it comes to accessing healthcare and the cost of medication, What alternative have you looked towards, How has it been? How do you feel about the cost of healthcare in Nigeria today? Do you think it's still affordable to fall sick casually? Share your thoughts. The phone lines are open and we'd definitely love to hear from you.
Why do you keep making me laugh when you say you cannot afford?
You can't afford.
It's like we all know that when it comes to health, you're helpless. You can try all you can, but if time comes and if your body is breaking down, sometimes sickness is something that cannot be controlled. So one way or another, you'll find yourself in that situation of healthcare. Let's take our first call. Good morning.
Good morning, Summayya. Good morning, Lilian. Shetima Kudima calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning, Shetima. It's good to have you.
So let's hear your take.
Thank you. Well, issue of healthcare. Honestly speaking, we have to thank God and ask for God's intervention, because the healthcare issue of Nigeria had become something else. Because the hospital management and the doctors that own private hospitals, they take it as a means of exploiting people. Because the medical bill that they are giving is not matched with the treatment that they are giving. It is unfortunate, a medicine that before you can get it as cheap as anything, now it becomes expensive. So there is nothing we can say other to ask God to give us more health. And I will advise Nigerians to eat well so that you cannot fall sick. Because they say pay the cook, don't pay the doctor. Now you see, if you say you will manage with your stomach, by the time you fall sick, you will surprise. Now, because of high expensive of food items, if you check Nigerians very well, you will see everyone is in short of blood. because there is no diet to eat. It is only God that can rescue us in this country. The marketers are selling food stuff. They have removed their sympathy on the Nigerians and the doctors too. So it is only God can save us, and the government is not doing anything to help the matter. So that's we can only pray to God, and I will keep on telling Nigerians: pay the cook, don't pay the doctor. Try and eat healthy food so that you can be healthy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shatima. Always a good pointer there. But one thing I noticed from Shatima, first he said, it means there's a lot of talk, but I don't even have time to share. When it comes to healthcare, it is really scary. And I can see that Shatima is siding with Lilian on this one, saying, you can't afford to be,
yes.
You can't afford to be sick, just like Lilian mentioned earlier, saying you have to maybe try and make your diet good, eat good food, take clean water, and all of that. These are all precaution measures, Lilian. But we all know, okay, sickness is like malaria, though.
Yeah, okay, now let's get to that. If there's one thing I know with the body is the body always tells you when it needs rest. The body always gives you sign. But because of how engrossed we are in our life's activities, we don't take note of it.
Life is difficult.
Life is difficult, but we don't take note of it. Malaria, mosquito-treated net, insecticide, cholera. We understand how difficult it is in some places, but try to take clean water as much as possible.
If it means boiling
you wouldn't want to be in the hospital. You would spend a lot. Let's take this call. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, I'm Mr. Paul calling from Makodi.
Hi, Mr. Paul. It's good to have you. How is Makodi this morning?
Makodi is cool and good.
Cold and good. All right. Nice combo. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yes. Health sector in Nigeria right now is a big deal. It's not an easy thing for Nigeria. Though everything is costly, but when it comes to the health issue side, I think it's not easy for people. Because in Nigeria, the only commodity that you don't bargain is hospital bill and the cost of drugs.
Yeah.
So I think they have taken advantage of that. Whatever they pronounce to you, you just have to pay or you forget about it. So I don't know why the system is like that. Even before the high cost of things, if you go to the pharmacy, they tell you if a card of paracetamol is 500 naira. You just have to pass with the 500 naira and take it away or you forget about it. Likewise, hospital. If you go and lie in hospital for 2-3 days, they will just bring it. They just be that if you ask them to do the breakdown, they cannot break it down for you. Just like the first speaker said, Shetima from Maiduguri, these people are too exploitative. Honestly, I don't know if there's anything that government can do about it in controlling or checking their excesses. If government can do something about that, Nigerians will be happy. Even common pack of condom that we used to buy at 100 naira, now it's 500 naira per pack. So I don't know how we can go about that.
Yeah. That's
my take for this morning.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Paul, for calling for Makodi. Now, one thing that we're forgetting is that if a hospital is a federal government hospital, then that money would be collected by the federal government. If a hospital is a state government hospital, that revenue would be taken by. So the only part that I would say get to control is more of the private hospitals. They get to make their decisions. So there's so much extortion there going on. But I went to, and I'll call name, Federal Government Hospital in Kefi. And it is nothing to write home about. The environment, I looked at it and I was asking myself, is this a federal government hospital? Lilian, it was that bad. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, my name is Abubakar in Port Harcourt, River State.
All right, sir. Your name is quite interesting. Can you break it down for us so we'll be able to get it?
I got DK.
Ebe.
All right.
Yes, in Port Harcourt, yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Honestly, my sister, the health situation in Nigeria is going down in a way that a poor man cannot even afford it. People have resorted into drinking whatever they see in the market,
True.
including the local ways including mothers and pregnant people. Let me shock you. There is this woman that I used to help, is asthmatic. I used to buy one drug called serotype inhaler, 6,000 naira. Do you know that today is 40,000 naira? How can that woman survive? I don't even have the money to give her 40,000 naira to go and buy serotype inhaler for asthma. Do you know how many people that have died and nobody talk? What we are hearing is that so many drug companies are leaving Nigeria because of harsh economy. What is rocket science in putting this country correct? And put people that can think outside the box, not the people that are thinking into their own pocket and their children and their cronies. Everything is clear, only them, the politicians, are enjoying it, including airfare. Everything, only them enjoying it. What is this health issue that you can put on the ground? Everybody can go in, even if they're sick, they go to abroad. Whenever their children are sick, they go to the abroad. And leaving the people that are governing. The exact they owe us is to secure life and property and give us amenities. And those things we are not seeing. And they just like we are not talking. Because when we talk, they don't hear. What we are giving is advice. We don't hate this government. We are telling them that since inception, Nigeria have never been what they're supposed to be. This is just coming to be an object of caricature in the Committee of Nations. Only the big men enjoy this country. Why? I think it's high time that God can come in and help us, because nobody can help us now, because their legs on our nose is so painful that we may not preach again. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
God
felt that frustration for your country. And I was saying earlier about how FMC, that's the Federal Medical Center in Kefi, is in deplorable state. Now imagine if a federal hospital is like that.
And then that is where you can afford.
And that is where you can afford. Imagine, then go to the local level.
Primary health care.
Go to primary health care. Go to even villages that do not even have. And if they do eventually, the primary health care are horrible. And then even with that, you charge a lot, but there's still no changes. And people can barely afford health care. Let's not even go back to the part where emergency situation happened and they tell you that, oh, you have to pay first. Or you have to get a police report first. It's not done in developed countries. Let's pick this call. Good morning. Good morning. Are you with us?
Good morning.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. Your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Michael. I'm calling from Abuja.
Michael
Hi,
from
Michael.
the city. Let's hear you.
Okay, I want to, if according to the healthcare, the cost, healthcare cost, how are you coping? The question is, how are we coping? Yes. Just as the first caller said, he said people should eat well to avoid being sick going to the hospital. Yes, it's good, but is the food also affordable? We are just caught at the middle here. The other caller said, the Pharmaceutical Association of Nigeria, what is their work? Are they regulating those pharmacies in Nigeria? Because you see the drug you buy at 5,000 naira, you go to another pharmacy, you can buy it at 4,000, 5,000 or 4,000 naira. So it seems that they are just selling at a cost that they wish to sell. There is no price control when they come to healthcare or drugs in Nigeria. So we don't know what is happening. In fact, a brother of mine was admitted in a hospital. As he said, the government hospital are no-go area. Because of that, we avoided them. We went to a private hospital. In less than 24 hours, was even a bill of something thousand naira. Somebody was just to treat malaria in an hospital, just drip and injection, 40,000 naira. How come? They can't explain.
Yeah.
So in just a situation we find ourselves, we don't even know the way out. It has just get into where the food is not affordable. The drugs, there is no price control. We don't just know where and how to go about all of these things. The question that the Nigerian government need to come in, and we don't even know what is happening.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael, for stating this. Now, while we're, blaming the government and asking the government to come in, the government have a significant role to play. And while we're also talking about the cost of private hospitals, let's not forget that these systems are not run on water. you have human resources, you have people that need to be paid, you have nurses that need to be paid so they can attend to you properly. They need to be paid their salaries, diesel, light, all these things have increased. So yes, the government has to come in creating an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. Pharmaceutical companies that live in Nigeria, we're talking about PCN and custom medication. The government said they have removed custom duties for medical, pharmaceutical drugs and all of that. Have we seen it play out? Let's not forget the naira to dollar, the exchange rates and how it's affecting cost of importation. These companies have left. It's simple math, meaning we're not going to be importing. They are leaving because they've calculated they're going to make more. If these people are going to be paying in dollars, we're going to get more dollars from them since we're no longer in Nigeria. So they have moved to other countries and out of the country. So Nigerians have to import. The serotonin going from 6,500. I remember when my roommate there was buying it at 1.8 or 1.6 or thereabouts. So imagine being an asthmatic patient. Like you said, some of these health issues are inevitable. You're born with them. Spending 45,000 naira on inhaler that you would need probably twice a month, depending on how often you get your attack. That is alarming.
It is.
Let's take this call. Good morning. What's your name or where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Chiku, calling from Ebonyi State.
Okay, Chiku, it's good to have you from Ebonyi. Go ahead with your thoughts.
All right. I want to appreciate you guys this morning for this wonderful program.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Compliment of the city. All right. As regard to health issues, most Nigerians are dying on daily basis because of lack of funds to see hospital. If you go to village.
Hi, okay, Chiku. Okay, Chiku,
Yes.
It's quite difficult to hear you. Would love you to speed up with your thoughts so we'll give other people the opportunity to talk. And your network seems to be breaking a little bit.
Okay. Personally, I've observed in some places that people can no longer go to the hospital. I've witnessed some cases where people were being asked, why not take this patient to the hospital? The reply was only, they don't have what it takes. There is no money. Cost of drugs of the high side on a daily basis. I could remember earlier February, March last year, I want to get a drug for for hypertensive patients. A drug called the specific codeine, and it was Tokovi, right? It was around 3,200 for a pack. But later on this year, I went and the same drug was about 15,000 plus. So I couldn't afford to get the drug. So people are having issues with their health because of lack of funds. So we're calling on our well-meaning Nigerian leaders to do something about it. People are dying daily, dying silently, and they don't know the way out. They don't know who to complain to. There's no way to channel, no place to channel a problem. So that's my take this morning.
Thank you very much, Ukuchuku, for your thoughts this morning. He has said that people are dying and there's no way to channel. People are taking alternative options instead of going to the hospital. While he was talking, I remember there's this vitamin C I used to buy for my kids at 650 in 2022. Explain to me how I was shouting like Jesus when they told me it was 2,000 naira literally at the pharmacy when I bought it sometime this year. I started buying it this year at 2,000 naira from 650 naira rather to 2,000 naira for a bottle of vitamin
really
C.
Alarming, Lilian.
I'm like, okay,
let's
why?
not forget, before in hospitals, right, you were able to get anything from the hospital, talking about medications from the hospital pharmacy. But then it got to a point where we started having a bit of allegations saying, most of them, now, when you buy from the hospital, it's meant to be cheaper. The prices are slashed.
They even
you
give
can use your
some,
health
like paracetamol for free, Seth.
Exactly. You can use your health insurance and cover, a lot of it. And so everything is, there's even a bit of level of, leniency. It's easy for people. But then you stop seeing those drugs, the most expensive one in hospitals. And before you know it, you go to hospitals and they'll just tell you, oh, it's just vitamin C and paracetamol that we have. things like this,
especially when you're under NHIS, especially when you're under insurance, they always limit the kind of medications they give you in the hospital.
Exactly. So there is a lot, and then we realize that, you know, with a lot of allegations coming here and there saying, no, these people even tend to use the advantage of, you know, the same corruption we've been fighting, taking away this drugs that initially it is part of the health expenditure that, you know, the federal government is putting in investing, saying when they say we remove billions of diseases for healthcare, that is part of the things where the money is going through. So every Nigerian has a right to go to, especially federal hospitals, state hospitals, you know, for the government, and easily get a cheaper drug, you know, more affordable, because it's been subsidized, because it's part of your taxpayers' money.
Oh, let me
But right now, it is not available. You don't see them anymore. The people that have the opportunity just siphon these drugs for themselves.
Before we take this call, giving birth in a federal hospital, you buy everything down to the gloves they wear to attend to you. And I'm like, why?
How did we get here?
Let's take this call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, good morning, Lilian and Fatima.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Summayya. It's Summayya.
Of the two of you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Hello?
Yeah, it's Summayya.
It's fine. Please go ahead.
I said I'm appreciating God for seeing the combination of the two of you.
Thank you very much.
Sincerely speaking, your television station is unique for giving Nigerians the ample opportunity to maybe present their cases where we cannot reliably go out for our complaints to be heard. But you people have given us a unique platform. We sincerely appreciate you.
You're welcome.
They say a speech on time saves mind. Why am I trying to say this? It's because our hospitals are in shambles. All over Nigeria, just go to the hospital. No facilities, no treatment that will be given to the sick. The widows cannot be taken care of. The less privileges cannot be taken care of. What kind of a country are we in? Now, I want to say this. A warning given by an experienced person to someone willing to hear or listen is more valuable than a gold. More valuable than a gold ring or a jewelry made of fine golds or linen. What am I trying to put on here is that all the advisors that used to advise those that are in authority, those in authorities, do they take the advice? And if they do take the advice, what are they doing with those advices that are being given to them? Can't we just take one thing in a year and say, this is what I've achieved? If it is medical, okay, the hospital should be taken care of. If it is road, next year we are on road. If it is on just take any of the parastatal. If it is security, they handle security. If it is policing, they police the country. If you are a teacher, teach well. If you are a doctor well. If you are a president well. President well. Thank you, God bless you. And if you are a journalist, you do the right thing.
All right. Thank you, Abasikong.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So just for, a clearer picture, we have healthcare expenditure so far. This is statistics made by WHO, that's the World Health Organization, saying 9.5 trillion naira has been used so far in Nigeria's economy on health. Now, I would ask you, have you seen that money in your health, in our health facilities or healthcare centers that we have in the nation? Out-of-pocket expenses are 80%. This according also to the WHO. We have the NBS, that's the National Bureau of Statistics, saying Nigerians are struggling to access healthcare at 50%. Now, if we're still going by the 2009 census that we did, we're still holding, say Nigerians are more than 200 million. They are saying half of that 200 million do not have access to healthcare facilities, to healthcare centers. And that is how bad it is now. Now, we are even complaining here, Lilian, saying we cannot afford. But then some people do not even have where to go. And just like one of our caller made mention, he said, people now are left with taking a lot of things, using the agbo, but because we're thinking we cannot afford, what's going on. Some people do not even have that choice of even saying, this is a hospital, this is a primary health care center, this is a clinic in a local or rural area that we can, go to. Also, the NHIS are saying average income spent on healthcare at 90%. People spend a lot of money and still don't get the value of their money. Good morning. All right, we lost that call. So quickly, there is annual increase in healthcare costs. That's about 25% by the CBN. There's poverty rate due to healthcare costs, which is about 10 million. And this is also according to the NBS. There's just so much information that we are putting it out there for you, the Nigerians, to be able to hold on to and hold the government accountable for what is going on. And not only at the federal level, what are the state governors doing about healthcare sector? We are going to be diving more into this discussion. We'll take a break, and when we come back, the show continues. Make sure you don't miss out on this. We'll be right back.